Hey guys, MeLikeBigBoom here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to complete the Traitor questline that was added yesterday. This new questline is a multi-step process that puts you in the shoes of a criminal investigator who is trying to find the reasoning behind Major Len's smuggling of supplies off the Liberator. Now, before I go any further, and I'm sure this is expected, there are major spoilers ahead. This questline is pretty heavily storyline based, and if you want to experience this questline without any spoilers, I'd recommend you click off the video after I show you the location of the evidence on the first quest. But without further ado, let's get started. Now to start, and this may have already been done, talk to the question marks guy by the fuel tank on the deck of the Liberator. Now continue to give him one experience until you no longer have the option to do so. The important bit of information is that he says Major Len was sneaking supplies off the ship late in the night last night. He goes on to talk about aliens and stuff, but there isn't much evidence behind these claims. Perhaps that will be a quest of its own in the future. Now normally you would go to Chief Brian on the top deck of the ship to report this crime, but he doesn't know you and won't take your accusations seriously. You need to build his trust beforehand by completing his quest, where he wants you to make him a donut and sneak it to him without anyone noticing. Ask him if he needs any help to start that donut quest. Now after you give him a donut, telling him about Major Len's antics will be taken more seriously. He tells you that before you come forward with the accusations, you must find evidence first and suggests finding traces of a shipment somewhere along the coastline. Accept this quest and head for shore. Now the name of this quest is Smuggler's Cove, and the only cove in this map is the one east of the harbor. Head there. Now once you arrive, it won't take long to find a pile of barrels, crates, pallets, and spools near the rock arch. Now on one of the pallets, you will find a uniform scrap. Pick this up and return to the Liberator. Now once you get to the Liberator, talk to Chief Brian again. When you show him the uniform scrap, he talks about how it used to belong to a lieutenant named Harry. He was part of the bridge crew and slept down in the bunk bedrooms, but randomly disappeared a while back, leaving no trace behind. He suggests that Major Len may have kidnapped him, but we don't know yet. Now tell him that you'd like to continue the investigation. He then has a ton of suggestions on how you might be able to get more information about Harry's disappearance. He wants you to search Harry's room, question Darren, talk to Natalie and Roman, and finally confront Major Len. Now start with Harry's room. If you're facing the chef, Harry's room is a set of bunk beds to the left. Now underneath the bunk bed next to the door, you will find a note. Read it. Now I think this is a note written by Harry about Major Len. He talks about how Major Len is suspicious and he's going to follow him when he heads to shore. Harry hoped to reason with him before telling the captain about Major Len's smuggling of supplies, but judging by how he never came back, I think we can assume it didn't go too well. Next, talk to Ensign Darren. He's the Lenny-faced dude running the communications equipment in the ship's control center place thing. He blabbers random weird stuff and mentions that Harry wanted to talk to Major Len or something before he disappeared. He doesn't really make much sense. Next, talk to Natalie. She is the mechanic lady next to the tank on the bottom floor. She mentions how he was sneaking around down here last night grabbing supplies. She says it's kind of unusual for higher ranking officers to do that. Now next, talk to Roman. He's the sous chef in the kitchen on the same floor. He tells you that Major Len has been recently vocal about his disagreements with the captain, which is kind of unusual and awkward. Now at this point, it seems clear that Major Len is behind something, so lastly, you need to confront him about it. What's interesting is that when you ask him about Harry, he's surprised, looks back and forth, but tells you that he didn't know anything about Harry very well at all. He's a criminal, I tell you. Now go on and tell Chief Brian about this. He tells you that this is definitely enough evidence to confront the captain about. When you talk to Captain Sydney and tell her that Major Len is a traitor, she pulls you aside. Now this is where things get weird. She then informs you that Major Len has been working for the captain all along as an undercover spy. It was definitely very weird, but she goes on to explain this more. You see, somebody here on this ship is a traitor. It's not Major Len. Somebody on the ship is not only part of a bandit gang, but somebody here also kidnapped Harry. Once again, she says it wasn't Major Len. They know who the gang is, but they don't know who the specific person was on the ship that actually kidnapped Harry. Now, by making Major Len a part of the bandit group, he will in turn, as being a part of that group, learn of all the members of that bandit group, including the person that kidnapped Harry. Now, the only reason why Major Len has been smuggling supplies is to become friends with that bandit group and build trust so that he can learn of all the members inside it. He's been keeping this whole thing a secret so random people don't spill the beans to the bandit group because it might endanger Harry and Major Len even more. Now, the bandits felt that they could trust Major Len because he's a high-ranking officer in the coalition and has access to rare supplies. She then gives you permission to work with Major Len in this whole ordeal. It's up to you to believe that, really. It is a massive change of plans. Major Len is an undercover spy. I don't know, but we definitely do learn more of this in the future. Now, talking to Major Len after this grants you access to the concluding and final quest. Major Len received a transmission from what appears to be bandits in Silo 22. But that doesn't make much sense. Silo 22 is a dead zone. Nobody can survive there. He thinks it was used as a relay station, meaning somebody sent a transmission from some random location to Silo 22, and then some sort of machine in Silo 22 automatically forwarded it to the destination, which is Major Len in this case. This was likely done to hide the original transmitter's location, so if this was the case, there should be a transmission log printed out in Silo 22 that has the information about the transmission's original location. Now, as expected, you need to head to Silo 22 for this, so gear up. And if you're quick, you might be able to get in and out with only one filter, but when I did the quest in legit survival, it took me 3 filters because I was cautious and I also had no vehicle. Now, this is definitely a very risky journey. Not only are you heading into a dead zone, but you also don't know what to expect. You could be going there to actually find some sort of relay log, or it could be a trap. Is it? I don't know. Find out next time. No, I'm just kidding. Now, once you get to Silo 22, head down to the bottom deck and look into each of the control panels for a note that's sticking out of one of the sides of the control centers. Now, I thought this note was actually floating at first, but it's actually meant to look like it was printed out the side, like a receipt. But reading it confirms Major Len's suspicions. As it turns out, Major Len actually was an undercover spy. Now, it is a relay log, and there were 2 messages sent and printed on this relay log. One was from a man named Carl and was sent to Major Len. Carl is a member of the bandit gang, by the way. Carl is successfully tricked into thinking that Major Len is in some hot water because of the investigation that we did. He will be in touch soon regarding picking Major Len up and taking him off the ship to protect him. Now, here's the crazy thing. The other message is from Darren. He's that Lenny-faced communications dude in the control room, remember him? Well, he sent a message to Carl saying that he's surprised that Major Len is legit and needs to be quick because the investigation of Major Len is getting close. Remember when we talked to Darren and he didn't really make much sense at all? That is probably when he went ahead and messaged Carl to tell him to go quick to go pick up Major Len and get him out of there. So as it turns out, bingo, Darren was the real traitor. He has been in talks with the bandit group all along and likely was the person that kidnapped Harry too. Success. Report your findings to Captain Sydney. Once you get back to the Liberator, she says that it all makes sense now. Darren is bunkmates with Harry, and perhaps Harry caught Darren smuggling supplies and was thrown in with the cargo. It's also quite convenient that Darren is in charge of communications, so he can easily hide his transmissions with the gang. She strips Darren of his rank, throws him in prison, and informs you that Major Len's squad successfully rescued Harry and captured the bandit gang. You can now visit Darren in prison next to T. Rickster and laugh at him. You can also say hello to Harry. He thanks you and says that he needs to meet for coffee sometime. That's it. That's the Traitor questline. I have to give major props to Nelson for coming up with this cool little mini storyline. The plot twist definitely got me pretty good. Did it for you? I think so. I'd love to see more of these kinds of stories in the future. This was a load of fun. If you guys would like to also see me attempt this quest live, I will put the link to the Twitch stream down below. I do hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial / informational video. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, that's all I have for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and do all that gibberish because MeLikeBigBoom is out.